All right, here we are looking at topic 5, typical test questions. Notice we started here on the blackboard. I want to make sure folks remember to get to the web page with this link. This is the full course web page, but mostly we'll just focus on going to this link here, this online learning page. And test 2 is featured right now, but if we come down here, we see topic 5 notes and the typical test questions 7 through 11 that we're going to be starting to work on with this video. So I'm going to bring those up. Give me one sec. So there you go, typical test question 7 with the two different versions. One comparing India's GDP and Canada's, suggesting that since India produces twice as much as Canada, living conditions are about twice as good. And the same point is really covered by the question asking you to explain what would be a better title for topic 5, because topic 5 is called GDP and welfare. So let's look at the notes for that. All right, when we look at the notes for topic 5, right from the start, we see what's going on for typical test question 7. Specifically, the point is to compare China and Canada. China's GDP, 10.7 trillion, and Canada is just 1.2 trillion. So if you were to take the ratio, you'd say China produces almost 9 times as much. So does that mean that China's people have 9 times as much stuff as Canadians? And the answer, of course, no, that's silly. China's population is almost 40 times Canada. And the punchline for typical test question 7 is that to explore welfare, we need to look at per capita GDP. Dividing GDP by the population tells us how much production there is in comparison to the population. A simple way to think of it is that if the production were divided up equally, everyone got the same amount, then they would get the per capita GDP. Use that insight to answer typical test question 7. So you could write something like, what would be a better title? A better title would be, let's have you write something down. I'm going to pause. Okay, I hope you saw the logic here. Remember, online learning means you won't have to write your own little essay, but make sure you can follow the little essay I wrote here. I said a better title would be per capita GDP and welfare, because per capita GDP tells us, right? Tells us how much goods are produced per person on average. And I go on to explain that if one country has twice the population of another, it would need to have twice the GDP, just so its people could have the same amount of goods. More bad typing, Jim. And I recommend, for explanation and for your thinking about it, think about pizza. Is 30 slices of pizza a lot of pizza? Well, it would be a lot for 3 people. Think of it per capita. For 3 people, per capita value would be 10. 10 slices per capita. But it would not be a lot of pizza for 120 people, because then the per capita slices would only be a quarter. That is 30 slices of 30 slices of pizza for 120 people is not a lot of pizza at all. Per capita pizza is very low in that little example. That's to illustrate the first punchline for topic 5, which is to explore welfare. We need to look at per capita GDP. We need to think about how many people the GDP is being provided for, if we want to think at all about the extent to which those people have high or low levels of welfare. Same point could be made by looking at India compared to Canada. You just want to note that India's probably 1 billion people, making it at least 10 or 20 times Canada's size, and so there's going to be way less goods per person, and the people in India are going to have a lot of trouble having living conditions that would be anything like those in Canada, which is why so many people immigrate from India to North America, right? Okay, that's TTQ number 7. Bye-bye.